Hi everyone, I am Dale from Go Funner Builds, and a lot of you have been asking how I made a paper rip effect between two sections on a funnel design that I made in Systeme.io. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I originally did it in Figma with vectors and like overlays on vectors and that, and I made it really hard for myself. So I went into Canva because a lot of people ask if I did it in Canva. So I've gone into Canva and I've recreated it to make it as easy as possible for everyone to follow along, to be able to do it themselves with their own designs and make the systemeio landing pages beautiful and more conversion optimized. Before we go any further, if you're not subscribed to systemeio, there's a link in the description. It's my referral link, so if you could use that, I'd be very grateful. So we want to create more videos for you and you can follow along after signing up. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is open Canva, and then we're going to go to custom size. So we're going to create a new custom size. And this is where we're going to design, obviously, the two sections for our funnel. You really need to know the size of the page you're going to be using. I'm going to be using 1920 by 1080, which is a standard size. But what I'm going to do on the height is I'm going to add some pixels, and you'll see why later. I'm going to add some depth to it. So I'm going to add like 400 pixels. So instead of 1920 by 1080, it's going to be 1920 by 1480, 400 to the basically the depth of the section. So what we're going to do is create new design, 1920, 1480, create new design. And there we are. We have our blank page, which is 1920 by 1480. The first thing you're going to do is create your first section. So we're going to go to elements and we're going to type mountains. There we go, some nice mountains. I'm going to go to photos. I'm going to choose a nice one. I'm going to click on this one. So basically you've got nice mountains here. So I'm looking at this image and looking at like the design that you've seen at the start of the video. I'm going to have all the copy on the left hand side of this section. So I really want the copy not in the dark section. So what I want to do is I want this sort of this side, because I think that'll look better. You don't have to do all this, by the way. It's just showing you my preference. So I flipped it round, put it back here. You want it to be the same width as the page. Click off, and there we go. So I'm going to have my copy, my headline here with the button and everything, so it'll look better than if it goes into this bit, which is a darker shade. It'd be harder to read. So what we're going to do now, in my case, of my design, I'm now going to put mountain silhouette people. And here we go. And that's the one I used in my original design. So I'm going to click on that one. Click background remover. Now, if you haven't got Canva Pro, you won't be able to do this, but there are a lot of free softwares where you can, including Figma, and you can get free trials of Canva periodically. So check if you can get the free trial. If you want to do a design, sign up for the free trial, cancel before the month's out, and you've done your design and used all the remove background. It's only a good little tip for you. So what we're going to do with this, I'm going to flip this as well. Not on this side. I'm going to put them about halfway, because you've got to remember, as you're designing this, you're going to have your headline wherever you want the headline. So in my case, I'm going to arrange this halfway along the page. It's all about here. And what I want to do is, the reason it's not at the bottom is because, if you remember when I said about the 400 pixels extra, that's here. You'll see why again. I keep saying you'll see why. But you will. So let's put that up here. Okay, so that's the first page done, basically, for the design in Canva. What we're going to do now is going to add a page. And this is going to be the paper rip effect. So I'm going to type paper rip background. I'm going to get a nice paper rip background, and I'm just going to choose this one, I think. Let's make this bigger. I think how that look up here, you see, onto the next page. So that looks like that there. See, what you want to do is draggy, and what I want to do is make these peaks the same height, because I don't want it going too deep like the rip. I want it sort of evenish, but not too deep. So I want the peak of that one and that one, I want the same kind of height without cutting off the peaks. I mean, what I'm just going to quickly do is zoom out so I can see my little rotator. Oh, there's one there. Just got to get it right. I'm a bit perfectionist, but I've got to speed up because I know you guys don't want to watch a 2-hour video of me doing something that could take minutes. What you want to do while you're doing this is make sure you cover the whole page. What's going on? It's a bit of a glitch then. See if you look. That will do, I think. Let's cover the whole page. Yep. So there. So as far as design's concerned in Canva, there's your 2 pages. What we're going to do now is we're going to, on this one, we're going to remove the background on this as well. Now it looks like nothing's going to happen. But you'll see why later. Again, why that has to be transparent. Because basically that white is going to be transferred to this bit. It's going to look really bad. So what we're going to do now is go to share, download, and we're going to just download page 1. And download. What you see in Google Chrome, when you see Chrome, so you'll see the download here. There we go. Design 3. And then we're going to go to share again, download, and we're going to go to page, just download page 2. So we've done. And before we push download, we're going to click transparent background. That's the reason why you didn't download both pages at the same time, because the page 2 has to have a transparent background. And you'll see why. Again, in a minute. You'll see why, but you will. So as far as Canva's concerned, the image is downloaded and we are finished in Canva. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to systeme.io and we're going to go to sites, which is there, your sales funnels, which I'm already on. And you're going to go to your funnel that needs this design imported into it. I've done a little test one here, so you don't watch me take ages setting up a headline and a button and everything. So I'm just going to go to edit the page. I've set this up already. The first part is similar to the design that you all asked me to show you how the rip effect was done. But none of this is anything special. If you look, it's just a row with an image in it, and text. The button, this bit here is just a little bit of HTML, a bit of CSS just to put the glue around the button. That's all that is. So there's nothing special there either. This side's got nothing. So it's literally just this side, just text and a button. And the second section is just text, image, text, image, text. So there's nothing. I've set this up already, but you haven't missed anything. This is to save time, because it would take me like another half an hour of a video to show you. So we're going to go to the section, the whole section here. Click on section, background image. This is going to be a background image. Click file, drag up to load. Because I'm in Chrome, we just go, that's the first one. We clicked, wasn't it? So it's going to import and click insert. There's the first one. Don't look great at the minute because you can see the bottom. And then we're going to go down to, with this one as well, with section, you've got to make sure it's 100% width and height. It's 100% width and height so you can see the whole image. We're going to go to section 2, the second section, and do the same. And here's the second one. So drag that into exactly the same way. Insert. Now with this one, this is going to be 100% width. We don't want to stretch all this, we want this the same. So the height is enough of that height to fulfill this. So at the minute, that doesn't look very good, does it? It doesn't look like how I did it. So what we're going to do now, under section 1, because we don't have that 400, what we're going to do is we're going to add a row. So you've got a row. In this case, I'm going to add a row underneath and a horizontal line. The reason I'm doing this, horizontal line, I'm going to make the width 10. If you look, that's going to make the width or the depth of the page deeper. So what I'm going to do with that colour of this, so you can't actually see it, I'm going to type white, or you could type F, which makes it white, and then we're going to have transparency at 0. There you go, so you can't actually see it. And then on the actual I'm going to make that 150. I'm going to put 150 margin on here. So what that's done is that's now opened up 400. So I've put a row there to open it up. Okay. So what we're going to do now, oh, I'm going to save as well here. So I'm going to save that. This is the 1480. This is why, as well, when I said about doing it as 1480, because you've got this extra room here now. Whereas if it was just 1920 it'd finish here. So when you come to overlap this, it'd go over your buttons and everything. So you've got this extra room now. So on section 2, what we're going to do, this is where the magic happens. Click section 2, and what we're going to do here is go to margin, and I'm going to do about minus 400. And what this is going to do is overlap the first section. You know when I said you'll see in a minute all these different things I was doing? That's the reason we have to do transparent background on the paper rip, and then transparent when you export it. So if you look, it's all clear. That's why I have to do the transparency on both. Why I had to export the 2 images separately. So wow, that looks good, doesn't it? But this doesn't. So it's like, what the hell? This looks really bad. So what we're going to do, again, is do the same as we did in this section to bring that down. So what I'm going to do is add a row. I'm going to add a row above this headline. And then a horizontal line again. So you've got handy these horizontal lines, aren't they? And we're going to do the same again. Am I clicking the line or the row? That's the row. It's quite hard. When they're thin, it's hard to click on them. So you click the horizontal line. Let's make it 10 because we can. F, and there we go. So 0 again, and on this one we'll do just a top margin. I don't want it separating from this. Top margin 100. There you go. So that pushes that down into this section now, and that is it. That is how I did it, but not on Canva. So it took me a while to make it so it works for you. Bear in mind as well, the exact settings I use for, like, you know, the 400 pixels, it'll be different if you use a different size page, different page size, and your images as well. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same principle, but just instead of, like, you might have to knock down the top, you know, the sub headline in section 2, 200 or only 50. I did 100, but that's because it works well for what I'm doing. But you might have to change, you know, the actual pixel heights. But the principle should be the same. And like the 400, some people think that might be too much. You don't need 400 as a width, you know, to cover with your second section of the paper rip. You might not need 400, but I've used 400. And the reason is, what I'm going to do now is save it. And you can preview here. So there it is. There's a paper rip. See, I could have done it a little bit lower than that, maybe, but for responsiveness, because I use 400, if I move that, it doesn't, there's no white showing. It's pretty responsive, isn't it? It's pretty responsive, see? Pretty cool. Nice, huh? And obviously you then export your images for mobile mode as well. You know, you'd have to like change the image size to optimize for mobile, obviously. So yeah, that is it. That's how I did it. Well, that's not exactly how I did it, because I did it in Figma and it was a lot harder than that. But I spent some time trying to make it easy for you guys to be able to do it in your funnels. Like I said, if you want to follow along, my referral link is in the description. I appreciate it if you used it to sign up. That'd be awesome. I can carry on making more videos like this for you. If there's any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll help you. You know, if something wasn't clear, I will get back to you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.